I don't mean one or two, I mean millions. And I say nothing. They had a hurricane in Louisiana some years ago. It was so ferocious that the waters rolled, and the Homachita River built up to such a raging torrent, it rolled aside and swept away the bridge on Highway 61 coming out of Natchez, Mississippi down to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It was raining so hard that night, quite a number of automobiles, the man, the woman, whomever driving, trying to find their way through that slashing rain. Nobody told them the bridge was out. Car after car went over the edge of that precipice. They never found one car or one body. Swept away until finally a man stood in the middle of the road with a lantern waving them down, saying, "Don't go any further, the bridge is out." What kind of man would that be? Were he have held that lantern in his hand and have watched car after car go off that precipice into the raging torrent below, and would have stood back and said, "I cannot tell them anything because it will interrupt their trip"? That man would be a beast. That man would be less than an animal. There's not a dog that would do such a thing. A dog will lose his life at times to pull a child from a raging torrent. And I'm a preacher. I'm a voice. I'm crying in a wilderness of this world. And the bridge is out. Millions upon millions are heading toward a precipice. Millions that are church members. Listen to me. What I say will be blunt, and I've tried to get around saying it, but I can't. Millions of Baptists and Methodists and Presbyterians and Congregationalists and Lutherans and that are members of churches. And you get angry with me because I call the name. That are members that have their name on church rolls, that are religious, that are a part and parcel of that religious activity. But millions upon millions of them have never been born again, but yet they think they're saved. They think they're saved because they've joined the church. A preacher has stood behind a pulpit, and in thousands of these churches that I've mentioned, these people by the millions have never heard a gospel message, have never seen an altar call, have never seen someone weep their way through to salvation, have never seen the power of God, their lives. Somebody said, "How do you know they aren't saved? How do you know?"
Fruits.
How can you be sure?
Fruit.
Jesus said you can judge a tree by the fruit that tree bears. Does that mean that all Baptists, Methodists, Presbyterian, Episcopalians, Lutherans, Congregationalists,